So don't let them steal your life.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about rape culture and what that's about. Most people know, when you look on porn sites, the number one, for some reason, the number one searched porn at the moment, that's been this way for quite a while now, about 5-10 years. The number one search in porn for men and women is trans. So that's the number one searched porn, trans. The number one searched porn besides that for women is rape. They are fixated, most women are fixated on a rape fantasy. That's what a lot of them masturbate to. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is a lot of feminists talk about a rape culture. What this is projection. What we're talking about here is women want to make it look like everything is rape. Especially, I mean, not all women, just feminists. They have this idea that that's kind of like when you talk to religious people and they're talking about gay marriage being legal, and they start saying that you know, the world's going to end and everybody's going to have to get married to gay people and all this stuff. A lot of that is just like this. It's projection. The funny thing that you'll see that I talked about before in lots of videos is a lot of the people that are so adamant against gay marriage and things like that tend to have bisexuality or gay tendencies, and maybe are actually gay. There's a guy that I've seen on YouTube that's been talked about a lot from Secular Talk. He's this hate-filled, spewing, you know, religious priest guy that's on YouTube talking about how gays should be killed and all this stuff. And he's got a lisp. I mean, you can tell he's gay, you know. And the thing that you find with a lot of this stuff, like with the rape culture, is those people that fantasize about things like that they think that everybody does that, you know. They have this idea that everybody does it. It's how, well, you know, if I'm doing it, then everybody's got to be doing that, right? You know. So a lot of, like I say, the number one fantasy of most women is rape, you know. So they have it in their mind that there's a rape culture, that everything's rape, you know. And you'll be surprised how many feminists will actually have rape fantasies. And a lot of them, when they do have sex, end up getting in relationships where they're a submissive and they're actually into bondage and want to be spanked and you know, they're into S&M, you know. You'd be surprised how many times this is the case with people like Anita Sarkeesian and Big Red and people like that. They're so like forceful, and when it comes to the bedroom, they want to be a submissive and they want to be like told what to do, you know. And you'll find this a lot, and that's why I believe the rape culture is nothing more than projection. There is no such thing as a rape culture. There is no rape culture in America. There never has been. From FBI statistics in the United States, from what the rape statistics are from that, it's about 0.4% of the population of women in the United States, which is about 167 million women. So out of 167 million women, 0.4% have been raped, basically. That's what we're looking at. But the women in colleges will tell you that it's 1 in 4, 1 in 3, 1 in 2 even, you know. I put a deal on my page the other day, on my Google Plus page, about some girls that were in a women's studies program in a college that had a thing on the board. They were dancing, and they said they were dancing to make awareness. And what's funny is they turned off all of the comments and all of the likes and dislikes off the video, and they had this thing set up. They know that this stuff is bullshit. You know, they can tell. That's the reason why they would do that. They don't want anybody to tell them they're wrong. So they'll go ahead and try to convince everybody that there's a rape culture, and there is, in your mind. If that's what you fantasize sexually about, and you've spent your whole life as a child all the way up until you're in college and you're 22 or 23, your whole life has been about, you know, like fantasizing about like the high school football player, you know, coming over to your house and forcing himself onto you, and you're masturbating to that, and that's been your whole life, then of course you're going to have this idea that everything is rape, because you're going to make that out to be the case when you're fantasizing about sex. You're going to think like, you know, like the funny little porn stories that go on in porn movies that's been set up by guys, where like you walk into a restaurant and order your food, and then some girl touches your dick, and next thing you know you're having sex. You know, those are silly imagination stories that guys think up, that guys think are sexy. You know, basically everything they, you know, you just go into some place and all of a sudden you're having sex with some woman. It just turns out to have sex, and that's basically what it is. Well, with women it's the same thing. You know, they want everything leads up when they're thinking about masturbating. Everything leads up from some guy forcing themselves on women. So when they go into being feminists, that's the thing they obviously think. You know, everybody's trying to force themselves on me, and if he looks at my boobs, he wants to have sex with me, and you know, he said my butt looked nice, and that means he wants to rape me. And this is how they use the projection. They really feel this. And like I was talking in the last video, it's a little bit of androphobia, and it's also a little bit of projection when they're thinking that men are going to rape them, you know. And like I say, if you spend your whole life fantasizing about that, you're going to think that everything is rape. And that's what happens with these girls. A lot of stuff has to do with androphobia, with when you look at women, and even the projection that some men put upon themselves. You know, when you look at what a lot of men think about themselves because of the way society has been arranged for men, it's really sad to see how a lot of men don't seem to see their worth in society. They're nothing more than a utility, and they don't. They're told from the time they're little that that's all they are. They're just a utility. You're only worth as much as you can give to a woman, and if you can't give much to a woman, then you're not worth anything. And that's how boys are taught. That's life. You know, you have to be able to provide something, and if you can't provide anything to a woman, then you're not worth anything. You know, which is why a lot of men don't go to hospitals. They don't want to have to ask for help. A lot of men have a hard time asking for help, which is why you end up with people with a lot of men have died from colon cancer, because they don't want to go to the doctor and you know, have an examination, and they don't want to say that maybe they're sick. They won't go to the doctor unless something is really, really wrong with them, you know. And this is the society that we've brought about, you know. So, like I say, there is no such thing as a rape culture. It's all projection. There never has been, never will be. And that's one reason why they get so mad when we show that most of the cases, especially, like, this is what a lot of people don't want to talk about. A lot of the cases that are brought up, that are rape cases that they talk about, this is another way they like to skew the results. They look at how many cases have been reported, not how many cases have went to trial and somebody has been convicted. Because there's a lot, especially now with the feminism thing and all this, there's lots of rape allegations that are completely false, that are 100% completely false, where a woman accuses a man of raping her and he wasn't even in the state at the time. He was actually maybe not even in the country at the time she says she was raped by him. And there's many cases like that, where some girl will say some guy raped her at some college, and he wasn't actually even going to that college at that time. He was actually in another college, you know, on the other side of town, or maybe even in another city in the state, you know. So some of those cases are very easy to find out that it was complete bullshit, you know. And then in other cases, you don't have anything to back yourself up, and you're put in jail for a false rape claim, and they don't count those as well. There's a lot of cases where men are put in jail and are accused of rape and are in jail and never raped anybody, you know. But women like to look at the whole package, because that's how it makes it look better for them. They like to come up with these rape statistics from all of the rapes that are reported, because if a rape is reported, then it's obviously been the girl's been raped. A woman doesn't make up fake rape claims. Never happen, right? Women will never make up rape claims. That's just impossible. Never happen, you know. So, like I say, there is no such thing as rape culture. Never has been, never will be. So, if you guys got anything to comment on this, leave it in the section below. Thanks for watching. Share, like, and subscribe. If you want to support me to help me do better videos, whatever, all this stuff is in the description box below. You can find me on all the rest of my sites. I'm on like 25 sites. They're all in the section below. I've got an Instagram, all the bullshit. It's all down below. So, thanks for watching.
So